Today we shall start a new lesson in history. Okay. Can you tell me which battle laid the foundation of British rule in India? Yes, Battle of Plassey. When was Battle of Plassey? Yes, 1757. 1757 Battle of Plassey established British rule in India or laid the foundation of British rule in India. Just 100 years after that foundation had shaken by the Indians through a mass revolt. That was our first war of independence, 1857. First war of independence, 1857. Why this war happened? After the Battle of Plassey, English East India Company started their territorial expansion in India. They wanted to protect their economic interest in India. For that, they wanted to get the political power. So they started the policy of territorial expansion. So, the first war of independence 1857 was concerned. There were so many reasons. The reasons can be categorized into political, social, religious, economic and military causes. Okay? So let us discuss about the causes of the first war of independence. I told you so many causes. They can be categorized into various ways such as political, then social causes, then religious causes, then economic causes, then military causes. First we shall discuss about the political causes led to the first war of independence. What were the political causes? One of the political causes, that was the policy of expansion. British government followed different policies for expanding their territorial power in India. Then another cause, that was disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah. Another political cause, that was ill treatment to Nana Sahib. Then lastly, the absentee sovereignty of the British. So see the political causes, children. Policy of expansion, disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah, ill treatment to Nana Sahib, then absentee sovereignty of the British. Then let us see one by one. First, the policy of expansion. For expanding their territories in India, British East India Company followed different methods. What were the methods British followed for expanding their territories in India? They followed different ways. What were the different ways they expanded their territories in India after the Battle of Plassey? The expansion was done through 4 ways. British expanded their territories in India by using 4 methods. 4 ways. Which are they? Number 1, outright wars. Next, subsidiary alliance. Next, doctrine of lapse. Then next one, annexation of Awadh under alleged misrule. So policy of expansion was one of the political causes led to the first war of independence. And what were the policies British followed for expanding their empire? One, outright war. Then another one, subsidiary alliance. Another one, doctrine of lapse. Then annexation on the pretext of alleged misrule. The territory of Awadh was annexed under alleged misrule. Then when we come to the outright war, we know the meaning of outright war. Just conquering the territories of India. British government or East India Company conducted many wars in our country after the Battle of Plassey. After the Battle of Plassey, they conducted the Battle of Buxar. Battle of Buxar was fought in the year 1764. You have studied in your standard 8. Battle of Buxar. After the Battle of Buxar, British became the masters of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. Today's Odisha. Right. Then another war was Anglo-Mysore War. Anglo-Mysore War, that was the war between British government and the rulers of Mysore. There were 4 Anglo-Mysore wars from 1767 to 1799. 4 Anglo-Mysore War. After the 4th Mysore War, Anglo-Mysore War, the territory of Mysore completely came under the control of the British. So, Battle of Buxar, Bengal, Bihar, Odisha. Then Anglo-Mysore War, Mysore territory completely not over. The next, Anglo-Maratha War. Anglo-Maratha War, that was fought from 1775 to 1818. Anglo-Maratha War, that was between British and the Maratha rulers, Peshwas. Maratha kingdom that was under the control of the Peshwas. 3 Anglo-Maratha wars were fought. After the third war, third war was from 1817 to 1818. After the third Anglo-Maratha war, Maratha territories came under the control of the British and Peshwas became puppets under the control of the British. Again, not over. Anglo-Sikh War. Anglo-Sikh Wars. We know Sikhs ruled in Punjab. That was from 1845 to 1849. And 2 wars. Anglo-Sikh War. War between British government and Punjab rulers. And after the second war, Punjab territory also came under the control of the British. Then again not over. Again they conducted minor wars and annexed territories such as Sindh, Assam, all came under the control of the British through outright wars. So outright wars was one of the policies of expansion followed by the British in India. Children, you notice that how many territories came under the control of the British through this method, outright war. Right? Next we shall discuss about the subsidiary alliance. What was subsidiary alliance? It was a very cunning policy introduced by the Governor General Lord Wellesley. So we shall see what was that policy. Lord Wellesley, the Governor General of India, introduced the Subsidiary Alliance. What was this policy? It was a policy of bringing the Indian states under the control of the British without annexing them, without capturing them. That is why I told that it was a very cunning policy. As per this policy, Indian rulers could enter into an alliance, that means agreement with the East India Company. And there were some conditions through that agreement. These conditions led to the loss of sovereignty of the Indian rulers. Indian rulers failed to realize the real intention of the British behind the policy of subsidiary alliance. If an Indian ruler entered into an alliance, subsidiary alliance with the East India Company, they had to surrender their foreign relations to the British. They must be ready to keep a British force in their territory. The maintenance of the force must be met by the ruler, and they had to maintain a British resident in their territory. That means what? The rulers virtually lost their sovereignty. Indian rulers thought that if they had a military of British in their territory, other Indian rulers would not attack them. If any Indian ruler attacked the ruler who had entered into the subsidiary alliance, British force would support that ruler against another ruler. Cunning policy of the British. Really, Indian rulers lost their independence. They were mere puppets in the hands of the East India Company. That was subsidiary alliance. First Indian state which entered into the subsidiary alliance of the British, that was Hyderabad. 1798. When Hyderabad joined the subsidiary alliance, other rulers, Indian rulers, they got very much worried. They also one by one. Even our Travancore entered into the subsidiary alliance of the British. So virtually the rulers lost their independence. Right? Yes. Now we shall discuss Doctrine of Lapse, another policy of expansion followed by the British in India. Doctrine of Lapse was a policy of annexation introduced by the Governor General Lord Dalhousie. What was it? As per this policy, if an Indian ruler died without a natural heir to succeed his throne, his territory would be annexed by the company. The adopted son of the deceased Raja would not inherit the throne. That was the Doctrine of Lapse. That is, if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his territory or the kingdom would lapse. That is, it would come under the control of the company. In royal families, there was a practice of adopting the male heirs. If a ruler did not have a male child to succeed him, adoption, right of adoption was or had been practiced. But when Doctrine of Lapse was introduced, the adopted sons of the deceased Rajas would not get the throne. the territory would be lapsed to the company. It would be annexed by the company. What happened in Jhansi, children? Jhansi, a small kingdom in Uttar Pradesh. The ruler of Jhansi died, and the adopted son Ananda Rao was not given the throne. That is why Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi revolted against the British. One of the heroine of the revolt of 1857, Rani of Jhansi, Lakshmi Bai. Why did she revolt against the British? Because the British applied doctrine of lapse against her. The adopted son Ananda Rao was not given the throne. Not Jhansi alone the British annexed. Through the doctrine of lapse, they annexed so many kingdoms such as Jhansi, Satara, Nagpur, Udaipur, Sambhalpur, etc. So many territories were annexed by the British through the doctrine of lapse. So you have to think, children, through outright what? Many territories. Through subsidiary alliance, also many territories. Then doctrine of lapse. Many territories were annexed. So the rulers of India were very much discontented, resented, because their kingdom would be annexed by the British. Especially those rulers who did not have the natural heir to succeed here. Right? Now we'll go to the last policy of expansion, that was the annexation of Awadh. Awadh, a kingdom, territory in United Province, today's Uttar Pradesh. In 1856, Lord Dalhousie annexed Awadh on the pretext of misrule. The reason for the annexation of Awadh, that was misrule. Any kingdom did not rule well, that would be annexed by the British. And the annexation of Awadh brought about so many consequences in Awadh, children. The government of Awadh was abolished. The army was disbanded. So many lost their employment, government officials, and also the soldiers lost their employment. When the revolt started, the soldiers of Awadh played a major role in the revolution because they lost their job. Then, not over, Lord Dalhousie confiscated the estates of rich people, Semindas, Talukdas, Jagardas. Their estates, lands were confiscated. So they also faced severe problems as a result of the annexation of Awadh. Thus, the ruler of Awadh also played a major role in the War of Independence 1857. Let's recall. One of the political causes led to the first War of Independence 1857 was the policy of expansion. What were the policies of expansion? Outright wars, subsidiary alliance, doctrine of lapse, and annexation of Awadh. Other political causes we will discuss in the next video. Thank you, children.